Hey everybody, here's a quick update from Mighty Commons. We don't usually do these kinds of videos, except we're in Japan, people.
We are. It's open to tourists. We found out it was open, and within an hour we had booked some tickets because we've been keen to come back. We've been keen to come back for a long time, but obviously the country's been closed. So it's open and you can come here, which is unreal. Depending where you live, I think you've got to be in certain countries or be vaccinated.
Something. In 2020, I believe, we wanted to come back here to shoot a film. And the world had different plans and everything got put on hold, but I'm very happy to say that we are over here to film a sequel to what I'm just going to go out there and say, when we first did this film, there was nothing else like it on YouTube as a platform.
No.
And we were, man, it was hard work making it and hard work getting the tech right, but we're in Japan to shoot Turbos and Temples 3, people, which is our kind of a bit more of kind of a cultural look at Japan, but also mad cars, of course.
The cars are just off their face, and they still are, people. I mean, if you're wandering around Tokyo, which is where we are now, we're at Shinagawa, which is like a main train station. It's not quite right in the guts of Tokyo, it's just out a little bit, but it's good because it's got good access to the rest of the country, easy to find hotels, stuff like that. If you're outside of Tokyo, you kind of see more cars, I would say. Even though there's less volume of
Very
cars,
different
you're more
kinds
likely
of
to
cars
see
as well.
Modified stuff. But modified stuff is different to what we think about at home. Not everyone's rocking 1,000 horsepower GTRs here, but you do see just these little sprinkles of flavour, which I really like and is really interesting.
Only in very specific places though. Like in Tokyo, basically we've got Marty's mates. There's just station wagons everywhere.
Subaru.
Heaps of Subaru station wagons. And out in the country where we have been, there's also Marty's mates out there, K-trucks. Absolutely everywhere, and little K-vans. How many Golf Rs have we seen? None?
I've seen one.
Have you?
One.
Mark 7? Mark 8?
Mark 7.
Mark 7?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, there's heaps of Volkswagen Ups. I've seen more Volkswagen Ups than I've seen of pretty much insert any JDM Hero car. Here's the thing that is changing. How many GTRs, on the street, how many GTRs have you seen?
One.
Supras, MR2s,
None.
180SXs,
None.
Silvias, GTRs.
None.
Hardly any. Hardly any. There's certainly a kind of a change going on over here, and even the used car lots. When we first came here to do Turbos and Temples, it was very, very different to what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, and look, a lot of people are exporting them. Why? Because if you own a GTIR and your local car dealer says, you know what, you should export that to insert other country here, America, Australia, Russia, whatever it is, it's like you can get heaps more money. You'd go send, and you just go buy a new thing.
Yes.
Because new things are still very valued in Japan, especially. But there is very strong enthusiast culture. We have seen it. And recently, just while we've been here, we've seen really, really strong enthusiast culture, and you're just like, oh wow, it's the same.
Yes.
People are still buying a particular kind of car and cruising it through the countryside, having a mad time, hanging out with their mates, which is what it's all about.
And there is still obviously a huge following for the hero cars. Now, Turbos and Temples, what's it all about? Normally it involves one of us buying a car off the internet and then coming to Japan to pick up that car then drive it around and have a bunch of experiences.
Yep.
And that is exactly, that's exactly what's happening, people. It's going to be a car that we've not had on the show before.
No, nothing like it.
But it is a car that I believe is iconic. It is a cult following.
Absolutely
People
iconic.
Absolutely love them.
And so you might be wondering,
yes.
why are we here now and not 3 days before the release date? Which we told people the release date? Do we know what it's going to be yet?
It is going to be, no, we're not going to tell them yet, but it's going to be this year. It's going to be the finale for this year, 2022.
Yeah.
Some people who've been following for a few years probably know when those finales drop.
So it's going to be, months,
it's going to be in December.
Of post-production to get it all done. There's no soundtrack yet. It's just a whole lot of shots of some very, very cool stuff, which we're very excited to show you. And it's not like we're hanging out to not show you right now. It's just we want to make it really, really good. It's going to be feature length for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't exist yet, but we've been shooting on some really nice cameras, really good gear, drone stuff, GoPro stuff. We're just kind of trying to take it to the next level. We're always trying to take it to the next level. This one's going to be shot like full ProRes, log, what do you call it?
Log.
Like basically it's going to look amazing. So for those of you that enjoy the finales of Mighty Car Mods, this is definitely one to watch on a TV with some mates when it comes out on Christmas Day.
That's right.
It's going to be coming out on Christmas Day.
So what else have we seen while we've been here? Well, we've managed to see some of the countryside that we haven't been to before. We decided to go in a different direction to some of the other trips. We're on the main island. Last time we're in the North Island. Next time we're right near the middle. So we've experienced some other parts. It's been absolutely stunning here. It did rain on us for the first 2 or 3 days, just non-stop. But then since then, it's been this beautiful autumn weather. All the leaves are turning brown. You've only got to go into the valley of some little Japanese town, and it looks like a postcard. It really is pretty.
It looks amazing. And I tell you what, the first night we had nowhere to stay, so we had to camp. And this kind of car that we got is not a car that would ever be associated with camping, ever. But we ended up out in the woods in the rain.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to be taking you on a very, very exciting journey. When we get back to Australia, we're going to get going on the soundtrack. There's also going to be some exciting stuff that comes out around the same time as the movie. And Martin, this bit we might cover my voice with some noise and music if it doesn't happen. No, but I think there's going to be a premiere also in Sydney at the cinemas at Hoyts. So there's going to be, we're going to try and make that happen if we can get everything done in time. But the best way to keep up to date with that is on the Mighty Car Mods Facebook page, where we'll be updating all of that stuff. Other than that, you might have seen the Levorg stuff just came out, and there's a special edition Japanese-style poster that came out for that we'll autograph and send everywhere in the world. There's a link below. The other thing that we'll link below is the prequels to the film that we're shooting now. There's Turbos and Temples 1, which we did many, many years ago. We had to edit it in like 10-minute bits and then stitch it together in iMovie, because back then movies and YouTube couldn't hack that much data.
It was a little over a decade ago that we first did that film, so things have changed, but go and have a look. If you're new to the channel, check out that film. It's definitely worth sitting down and watching for sure.
And then Turbos and Temples 2, which is a 3-hour behemoth of excellent Japanese automotive adventures. So the links for both of those are down below, and I suggest you have a look at those to start getting the tingle, start getting the flavour of what those previous films were about. So you're all ready for Christmas Day. That's right. Turbos and Temples 3.
Upcoming on the channel, there is a bit of a mixed bag of stuff, other projects that we've got. Parts have arrived for a few different cars we've been waiting on. Plus another one that's coming out. Is it early next year? There's one coming out that's just so bellissimo. We got some parts for it while we're here, and they're in a box that I'm just dragging home on top of my suitcase, hoping they let me through. I think it's like a 23 kilo weight limit, and these parts are 22.5 kilos, including the box. So if they let me through on the airport with these parts, it's just going to be so epic. It's overnight, literally overnight parts from Japan.
And it's a very, very big job though, and it's going to take us a couple of months actually to get that one done. So I'd say it's going to be like early next year you see that. It hasn't been done before. I know on YouTube everyone's like, I'm the first one to do it, whatever.
It's a bit of a thing at the moment.
What we're planning on doing has not been done before. We don't know if it's actually going to work, but we have a car and a box full of parts. This is not the Turbos and Temples 3 car. This is a separate car. We have a car and a box full of parts, and we're going to hopefully make it all work. So there it is. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa.
Just blanked ya.
All right, no, I got a wave. That was good. All right, so that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for following. Of course, if you want to support the show, you can check out the Mighty Car Mods shop. There's going to be lots of cool stuff happening between now and the end of the year.
But be busy.
That's it. So,
let's go.
Thank you very much, everybody. Links below. See you soon, and goodbye.